the best DSLR cameras are still a great investment for photographers in 2023. While the best mirrorless cameras are at the cutting edge of photographic tech, top DSLRs still benefit from big sensors, solid battery lives, and best-in-class handling. Whatever your budget and skill level, you'll find a fitting option among the best DSLR cameras here. Our recommendation number 1 is Nikon D3500 DSLR camera. While experienced photographers should look further down this list for their DSLR match, the Nikon D3500 is the ideal choice for beginners who are looking to sharpen their photographic skills. Despite its age, the D3500 still has one of the finest APS-C sensors out there, and also comes with a neat retracting kit lens. Talking of this lens, it's worth spending the extra money and to get the VR version, vibration reduction, as this is Nikon's image stabilization system. In our tests, we were impressed by the Nikon D3500's battery life and its ease of handling. Most importantly, the results delivered by the camera's excellent sensor were top-notch. The D3500 is proof that you don't have to pay a fortune to get a great camera. Its controls are designed to be simple for novices, and in the right hands it's a match for cameras that cost a lot more. If you're looking to explore manual controls and benefit from a sensor that's far superior to any you'll find in a camera phone, the Nikon D3500 is certainly hard to beat. Our recommendation number 2 is Nikon D850 FX format digital SLR camera. The Nikon D850 is one of our all-time favorites, with solid build, great controls, resolution and speed. APS-C format DSLRs like those earlier in our list offer a decent compromise between features, quality, and price, but professionals will demand a step up in image quality, and that means a full-frame DSLR. We found the Nikon D850 inexpensive, but with capabilities that put it in a class of its own. Its 45.7 MP resolution is spectacular. It has a 153-point autofocus system, and can capture images at 7 frames per second, or 9 frames per second with the optional MBD18 battery grip. Amazing video features also make it one of the best 4K camera choices around, though the newer Nikon D780 would be a better and cheaper choice for videographers. We know the Nikon D850 doesn't have the new Nikon D780's hybrid on-sensor autofocus technology, so its live view autofocus speeds are relatively pedestrian, but we don't find that much of a handicap for measured professional photographic shoots, and it scarcely puts a dent in the D850's all-round appeal as arguably the best DSLR of all time for professional photographers. It's hard to think of another DSLR that wows like the D850 does, even after several years on the market. It's on the pricey side for sure, but this is justified by the things we discovered in our tests, including excellent image quality, bags of features and a rugged, weather-resistant magnesium alloy body. Our recommendation number 3 is Nikon D780 DSLR camera. The D780 is effectively a hybrid of a full-frame DSLR and a mirrorless camera like the original Nikon Z6. And while it's still relatively expensive, the D780's slight price drop since it landed in 2020 means it's now our top pick for anyone who wants to combine the benefits of mirrorless tech and DSLRs. Building on the solid foundation of the D750, which will remain on sale, see number 8, the D780 has the same 273-point on-chip phase detection autofocus system as the Z6. However, it also brings an impressive 2,260-shot battery life, if you prefer to shoot through its optical viewfinder. We discovered in our review that image quality is among the best around, while its 4K video skills are boosted by the inclusion of modern features like face and eye detection. As a relatively new DSLR, it's still quite pricey, but if that isn't an issue for you, then it's one of the best full-frame all-rounders you can buy. Our recommendation number 4 is Canon EOS 90D DSLR camera. We spent some time testing the Canon EOS 90D and we are convinced this is the best Canon camera for enthusiasts. It arrived with groundbreaking specs that no other camera in this category can match, and packs in an amazing 32.5 million pixels, the highest yet for an APS-C camera, though you shouldn't expect to see any obvious and instant benefit in image quality. It all depends on the lenses, and the 18-135mm kit lens supplied for us to use is not one of Canon's best. Instead, revel in this camera's 10 frames per second continuous shooting capability and its uncropped 4K video capture, a consumer-level Canon that, finally, doesn't reduce the angle of view for 4K video. The extra megapixels do dent the EOS 90D's high ISO or low light performance, but this camera has so many capabilities and so much potential. We think it's a dazzlingly good all-rounder for enthusiasts who want to try every facet of photography. What's more, with its flip-out screen and dual-pixel CMOS AF, it's just like using a mirrorless camera in live view mode. It's worth weighing up whether the benefits of a mirrorless alternative to the EOS 90D, like the Canon EOS M6 Mark II, might appeal to you. The M6 Mark II is smaller, cheaper, and offers faster burst shooting. But by focusing on key areas like battery life, handling, and a fully articulating rear screen, Canon has made the EOS 90D a strong and versatile alternative for anyone who prefers the DSLR shooting experience. Our recommendation number 5 is Canon EOS Rebel T7 DSLR camera. If you're buying your first DSLR camera on a tight budget, a simpler, slightly older model is the way to go. Canon's entry-level EOS Rebel T7, known as the 2000D outside the US, fits that bill. The specs won't blow anyone away, but we found it easy to use, it gets the basics right and, because it's a few years old, offers fantastic value. There are several compromises, of course. Burst shooting is limited to a lazy 3 frames per second and the dated autofocus system features just 9 points. Live view focusing is sluggish and you'll need to look elsewhere if you want a touch screen. And, as you'd expect, the plasticky shell does not feel premium. But there are good points for beginners, too. We felt the control layout is logical and easy to use, and battery life is solid. There's video recording too, albeit limited to 1080p. More importantly, in our tests the 24.1 MP sensor produces images with a good level of detail and decent dynamic range, while noise handling performance is solid. If you're looking to buy a good DSLR on a shoestring, the EOS Rebel T7 2000D is well worth considering.